Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day regardless of the theatrics that we're seeing here so far. And obviously keeping a good positive mental attitude, because honestly at this point all you can really do is laugh at the hysteria and not buy into the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. All right, we got to control our emotions, and this is just a better opportunity when you think about it. All right, so we'll look at different opportunities, big picture, best practice, all the nine yards, the whole 9 yards. I'm getting ahead of myself. You get what I'm trying to say here. And if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, hope you can learn something here today. And obviously, become a community member if you want to become a better trader. I have a trading academy, community, and signal group. Essentially, just things that are in place to help you become really just the best trader you can be. And it's a really awesome experience. I'm super thankful that we're all kind of coming together and working as a team. It's nice to have that kind of support and just an amazing community at your back. So thanks again to all my current community members. You're great. You're awesome. We have over 200 members active, and really cool situation. So check that out in your own time. I do also offer discounts for military and third world countries. So message me direct. Only use the contact information in the comments below. I will never message you directly or try to solicit you. That being said, here's what's going on with Ethereum. We already know kind of the state of the nation here, but we've been stuck under the 20-day set moving average for quite a few days. We broke to the downside, as per usual, with Bitcoin. Problem is, Ethereum's getting hit a lot harder than Bitcoin is, even though Bitcoin is still very, very low. We're at a pretty extreme state here, and I'll explain more about that here in a moment. We're also working concurrently with this trend line here at the 50-day SMA. So a lot of times you can notice, just big heads up, big picture, anytime you see a trend line forming essentially, like this for example, that's a bad line, there you go, this trend line here, it usually works concurrent with the 50-day set moving average. Then of course this lower one here, kind of the more shorter time frame, it works also concurrent with the 20. So it's a great reason why the 20-day and the 50-day set moving averages are used very consistently, because they help us understand trends. All right, and that's where we're at here. The trend is your friend. In this case, even though the trend is to the downside, it could still be your friend because you understand it's going to keep going that way until it changes direction. Now, we could very well see the price recover here soon, all right? But for the most part, we should expect the price to continue lower as we've anticipated this whole entire time. Now, big picture here, let's go ahead and take a look at some supports. I drew this level out here previously right at about 1400. That was a previous resistance level. Therefore, it should be a support level now. It broke right straight through there today and yesterday. Oops, sorry. My mouse is going crazy. And basically what that just means is that it's now going to be considered a resistance level. So if you're going to short, I would say a stop loss just above 1400 would be appropriate, because that shouldn't be broken moving forward. Again, there's never guarantees in that, but generally speaking, previous support levels can work as resistances, and that's what we're seeing here. All right. We also see, of course, the price working its way specifically down these Fibonacci retracement levels. So it spent the most time here between 17 and 2100. And of course now we broke straight through here. Basically we had that same gap from Bitcoin, and it broke straight through from 17 to 1400. And now we can expect 1400 to be a resistance level right here. Then obviously we've got this little support here right at about 1200. So had you put in your buy order at 1200, that would have been great thing to do. Happy that I did in that sense, because again, Fibonacci retracement levels are common places for the prices to wick down. If we were to have another candle wick down, just say Bitcoin goes down to 20,000, which we're anticipating as the previous all-time high back in 2017, we can see 1200 would be the new resistance, and the new support would be roughly 935. Okay, so again, different DCA targets, different scenarios, different situations. But generally speaking, the price action is going down. We shouldn't expect it to recover anytime soon. So please be mindful of that. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at there. Let's go and look at the standard stuff and work our way down. We're below 30 on the RSI, also very standard. Now, you should expect or anticipate in most cases when the RSI is under 30 for it to recover. It's not going to happen right away, but another couple of days, I would say when the Fed meetings are over on the 14th and 15th, we should very well see some type of reprieve here soon. So I'm not telling you by any stretch of the imagination to take a long position, but if you were to, it wouldn't be the worst idea ever, because the likelihood of the price recovering soon based on everything being so overexhausted, overinflated to the downside, really helps us understand that there's a good chance we might see a pullback. Again, logic doesn't always apply in cryptocurrency though, right? So try to recognize that what we're seeing right now is defying the laws of trading. And so most trading laws pretty much tell us we can only have so much downside for so long. We've hit exhaustive states on the 1 hour and the 4 hour for Bitcoin, and we're almost there on the daily. We're 7 days into this red trend. 2 more days and we should be good to go. So my speculation is middle of the week, we'll see some type of reprieve, and that would basically put us here at 1400 as a potential resistance. In other words, if you take a long position right now, 1250 roughly, tight profit targets, but 1400 would probably be the highest point in which you'd want to set that target based on the simple fact that that is the likely resistance level. Okay. Again, something to consider. All right, not telling you to take long positions though. Please do not leave this conversation with that thought process. I'm just saying that it would make sense for the price to recover a little bit over the next few days or after the next couple of days, based on the simple sentiment that we're so far exhausted to the downside. I mean, look at this. We hit a 9 on TD sequential, and that was on Friday. So we hit that on Friday, and it's been going down ever since. So like, there's literally been no recovery time. I mean, we've seen maybe an 8-hour period here or 4 hours where the price action's like, yeah, I'm going to recover. Nope, complete dead cat, keeps moving down. So again, wait for confirmation before you take entry. And if you do take entry, small position sizes. All right, that's the recommendation, because again, you're surviving the market right now in a bearish trend. You're not thriving in the market right now. Granted, you can still thrive if you short. We've shorted a lot. We've made a lot of profit, and honestly, it's fantastic. I love it. But on the same accord, you shouldn't rely on that, and a lot of our position sizes have been lower. So in turn, greater risk should have, I wouldn't say greater reward. It's just that you should be very careful with what you invest. Okay, when things are very rickety, like we're seeing right now, try not to go all in. Okay, never go all in, I guess, ever. But on the same accord, if you're that kind of person, now's not the time. Okay. All right, so we see we're in exhaustive state. We're underneath all moving averages. We're under 30 on the RSI, trying to retest 30. This could very well work as a resistance. I've seen it happen before. So please understand that the price could come up and reject and continue further down. Is it strong likelihood it's going to continue down right now? Probably not, based on how extremely overexhausted things are. The bears can only sell so much Bitcoin, all right? And they can only sell so much Ethereum. That there's a point in which people are like, hey, this is an extremely good value, and we're going to go ahead and buy it, because we're, the last 14 days, according to the RSI, we've seen the price action at a higher price point. So right now it seems very juicy, and we want to get in. That's kind of what's going on. We're probably going to see some decent buying pressure here today, and perhaps a slow grind up throughout the week. Again, perhaps is a key takeaway here. We shouldn't expect Bitcoin to come much lower than 20,000. So the anticipation is that we should be range bound between 20 and maybe 23 or 24,000 for Bitcoin, which would put us really pretty much range bound between 1,200 and 1,500 for Ethereum. All right, so take that how you will. Looking at the 1 hour, not much else to really note here. We're pretty straightforward in a situation where we shouldn't take a position. There's no confirmation for a long. And really, it's only telling us that if you have a short position open, keep it open. It could very well continue lower. So this lagging span intersects with the price action here. That might be a case in point where you want to take entry. Okay, again, might be. That's a very premature early indication, but that does help you understand that you'd want to close your short position if we were to get there. All right. So in 12 more hours, maybe 24, the price is exactly where it's at right now. Then a long position might be viable. But again, if you take that same consideration, you look back here previously, had you taken entry right here, you would have maybe taken some quick profits, but you would have got stopped out and the price went back down. Again, wait for confirmation. That's the true takeaway here. The last thing to kind of note, if we can see, look at all this neon colors. We hit a 9 on TD sequential here. Boom, comes all the way down to a second 9. We get a little bit of a reset after some exhaustive state. Price goes sideways, hits a 9 again, and hasn't stopped since. So yes, we got a little bit of a reset here, but generally speaking, we've hit 3 9s in a row with a small period of consolidation. So once again, the likelihood of a push to the downside further is very low unless there's a strong fundamental catalyst from Bitcoin. All right. So once more, we could and very well likely should see the price action potentially increase here moving forward. But you got to understand, when we see gaps down in the traditional market like this, it's never a good sign for cryptocurrency being a secondary market. Okay, so please note that the traditional markets are very much impacting what we're seeing right now with Ethereum, and it's just kind of the way that it goes. All right, this is par for the course, standard stuff. Control what you can, which is your emotions and how you respond to this. And if you're having a bad day, bad trading day, you've had a couple bad trades, take a day off, take a couple of days off. There's no point in grinding your head against the grindstone there and just batting your. There's a lot of things I see that are wrong with with those who are either overly emotional or more importantly, not in control of their emotions. So if it takes some kind of healthy transition in your personal life, then do it. That's the key takeaway I would like to say here. If you're going to listen to anything, make sure you have a healthy body and a healthy mind first before you trade, and these things become a lot easier. Now, again, I'm not preaching or whatever you want to call it, just because I walk my dog every single morning, I swim with him, and I exercise 5 days a week. Doesn't mean that I'm better than you. It just means that I have control over my emotions, and those are things that are really important. I teach this in my trading academy, and I'd like to reiterate in these videos if you're not part of that, so you know that there's a lot more to trading than just what you see here. This stuff becomes a lot easier if you have a sound mind and a sound body. Either way, that's essentially what we're looking at here. Big picture, Ethereum is probably going to recover a little bit, but just be mindful here that we're going to see 1400 as a strong resistance level. So we're probably going to be range bound between 12 to 14 or 12 to 1500, depending on the overall climate this week. But I would maybe recommend waiting on 24 to 40 hours before taking a position, based on the simple fact that we should expect some kind of crazy stuff happen over the next couple days until the Fed rate meeting is over. Okay. Again, those Fed meetings are causing a big ripple, and it's just something we need to acknowledge. All right. Well, I hope you learned something here today. Thanks again for joining, listening, learning, all the whole thing there. And I greatly appreciate all of your support. I get some really awesome feedback in the comments lately too. So thank you all very much for just being very supportive over the years here. And if you want to become, once again, a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is the site. There's a link to the description below. And I do offer discounts for military and third world countries as well. Thank you so much for your service. We'll look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.